Hi guys, Matt Lemke here with your Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and today we're going to do a flip through of the Treasure Vault. And this is just going to be a basic introduction to it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each chapter. There's just way too much to cover for a flip through. I will come back at a later date and I will do a thorough review of Secrets of Crafting and share my thoughts on crafting, because I'm not satisfied with crafting in most role-playing games. So the book contains Into the Vault, which is basically a background on how the vault came about and things of that nature. A kobold and a dragon, I believe, is what it talks about. Armor, armaments, alchemy unleashed, momentary magic, trappings of power, secrets of crafting, game master's trove, treasure tables, and index. So with this said, you have the little intro with the dragon and the kobold that we were discussing a moment ago, and then at the start of every chapter and subsection you're going to have a little descriptor like this, the breakdown of what's important relating to things like arms and armor, a chapter map, and sometimes you are going to get this little thing like about personal style, and this is in particular about helping players define their characters. And of course, you're going to have the little subsection on the side that is like index tabs for the whole book. With arms and armor, we introduce things like entrench, hindering for armor traits, adjusted, inscribed, laminar, ponderous. And then there's some new specialization effects from skeletal and wood. And then there's new armors. The book introduces buckle armor, leather, limlar, bastion plate, leaf weave, I don't know how to say that, coral armor, mantis shell, sankit, helm knight half plate, and oyori. And then of course there's some armor adjustment things that it introduces in the game, and it introduces new property runes. Some of these are really neat. And then it moves into specific armors, like black hole armor, and it has art throughout the book to represent most of the items in the book. And then it moves into shields, talks about the new shield traits, which is deflecting, fold away, harnessed, hefty, inscribed, integrated, launching. And then there are shield descriptions for all the new shields. There's Caster's Targe, Dark Shield, Fortress Shield, Gauntlet Buckler, Harnessed Shield, Heavy Rondash, Hide Shield, and the Clar Meteor Shield, Razor Dice, Disc, my bad, I need to go get my glasses, Salvo Shield, and a Sword Master Shield, along with, of course, all the prices, all the information on their hardness and everything in the chart. And then it moves into specific magic shields, again, and then weapons. For weapons traits, we introduce brace, capacity, combination, concealable, concussive, critical fusion, fatal aim, kickback, which basically designates a penalty for being a really powerful weapon, modular, which is kind of neat if they incorporate it into crafting the way that I hope they do, ranged trip, raising, recovery, repeating, scatter, training, training weapon is designed to be used when training an animal to participate in combat. Vehicular trait, and then it goes into the new weapons, which there's a good bit of. There's a good bit of them. Butterfly swords in here now. Chain sword. Where is it? The long hammer. They introduce a lot more weapons with this book. Barricade Buster. I wonder what that is. That looks cool. I don't play a lot of shooty guys, so... Oh, why isn't it there? Battles, huh? The Barricade Buster was developed by a half-orc inventor from Alkenstar, who brought the technology north. Eight barrels fixed around a central pivot attached to a handle firing mechanism. A Barricade Buster fires spheres of metal with extreme velocity and very little accuracy. It's a shotgun. Of course, new weapon runes. Some of these are neat. Flurrying has a lot of potential. It has to go on a monk weapon, but it has a lot of potential. And then there are specific weapons. There's some clockwork arms, and then specifically they have paired weapons. And then they move into celestial armory, which is like basically blessed stuff. They break it down a little bit more for you to take a look at it. And then, of course, there's guns and star guns. And then we get into alchemy. And there's a lot of stuff in the alchemy. I can spend days in here. There's new forms of alchemical ammunition. Then there's alchemical bombs. Alchemical foods. This is a fun chapter. I really do. I enjoy this chapter. In fact, I'm going to try and make some of these foods. I don't know how I will do that. Like Tracker's stew should be easy. But owlbear egg, that'll be rough. And then there's alchemical tools. And this isn't tools like for making new things, but it's more like tools that you would use in the field, like animal repellent, or Batman used to carry shark repellent on him all the time in the TV show. Yeah, that's going back way back, isn't it? Revealing mists, things like that. And then there's bottled monstrosities, which is basically an effigy of whatever the monstrosity is. For example, a hippogriff. You break it open, and it creates an effigy of a hippogriff that is basically around for, I guess, 3 rounds. Long enough to fly you out of danger, or up a cliff, or across a small gorge. And then there's elixirs. And there are plenty of elixirs for you to play around with. And there's some permanent alchemical items, and these are generally items that enhance your crafting. And then, of course, they introduce some more poisons, which is always a fun thing to play with as a GM. And then there's momentary magic. And everything basically in the momentary magic chapter is things that are consumable. So you have different catalysts. You have Fulus or Folus. I'm not sure what that is spelled, or what the... Never mind. I'm moving on. But you get things like stumbling, and you fix it to armor, and basically... Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Which basically makes them take a reflex save or basically fall. There's more magical ammunitions. And of course, with magical ammunitions, there comes arrows are going to be part of that, of course. And there's a lot of different ones. Ranging shot, imp shot, lightning rod shot, which is fun. And then there's missives, which are basically magical letters. And as a GM, I'm really looking forward to using some of these. Oils, of course. I like the fact that they created enough oils that they gave it its entire section. Of course, there's potions, and there's a great deal of them. One that can be a lot of fun is the cloning potion. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. And then, of course, there's talismans. Talismans range anywhere from Chain of Stars, which is +1 striking shurikens, to something like a wooden nickel, which basically, when you activate wooden nickel for 10 minutes, you can cause any object you touch of 2 bulk or less to look like, feel like, and smell like valuables of similar size. Could be a lot of fun. And of course, then there's some wondrous items. These are all consumables in this particular section of the book. good picture of them, of some of them. And then we move into trappings of power, which this is things that basically hold a power to them. Some of them are portable, some of them are apex items, like an amulet of the third eye. A rapier is one of them, and then we move into things like that they call assistive items, and this is one of the, let's see here. They do things like a wand cane. Though it appears to be a basic cane, the inner workings of the wand cane are an intricate network of lenses of magical circuits. Circuits, I like that. With a slot at the top of to insert a wand. And the wand cane can hold a wand. Then there's grimoires, which I haven't really played much with, but I can imagine this is a very fun chapter to play with. And then after that we move into held items, and there's plenty of different things like a figurine, a lantern, I believe there it is, a violin, and tattoos. I'm not a big fan of magical tattoos, and maybe this will help change my attitude towards some of these feats a little bit. And because there's a lot more of them now, they're all the way up to a feat of level 9 plus. And then there's spell hearts. I didn't actually look at this chapter at all, so I'm just going to skip over it. And like I said before, so there's stabs. There are a lot more stabs in the game now. I think there's 22 more as a result of this. And I kind of want to get myself a spy staff for my rogue, even though he doesn't really use stabs. And of course there's some instruments, and then it introduces quite a few more wands to the game. Worn items, there are plenty of them to go through for accessories, and everything from gauntlets to robes to goggles, plenty of headgear, plenty of other things. And then the secrets of crafting, like I said before, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another video on the secrets of crafting. So we're going to totally skip over that, and we're going to hit the last chapter, which is the Game Master's Trove. This is stuff that is supposed to be a secret from the players, but since they can buy the book, it doesn't work that way. It never does. So you, as a GM, you just change them. And there are some really neat things in here, actually. So I kind of like the Ghost Hand comment, which is right here. There is a good bit of text on it, but so you activate it and you attempt a range strike with Ghost Hand's comment, and for the triggering strike, Ghost Hand's comment changes its damage type to your choice of acid, cold, or electricity, fire, or sonic. Because it's a weapon, as a GM, I might change it from sonic to force. Just because I like force damage. Anyway, that is one of the cooler items in the book, in my opinion. You get to select things, which can be a lot of fun. And then after that, there is archetype artifacts, which basically are free archetypes, and you gain access to the item, of course, and then a slew of feats that you gain access to. There's there's two free archetype artifacts in here, and then it introduces a whole bunch more boons. Cursed and intelligent items. This is a great chapter if you're an evil GM. Or just a good GM. Because cursed items can be a lot of fun. Like, yes. And then, of course, relics. I didn't really delve into the relics chapter yet. And I wasn't going to. I just want to move back to the end of the book where they actually have treasure tables. It's not random generation tables. It's just tables that basically tell you where the costs are in the page of them in this book, or I think even, yeah, in this book. So, who is this book for? Well, really it's for everyone, but it's geared towards those that are making adventures. Players can find most of the information in the archives if they really wanted to. So it is a great book. It's definitely worth the price point. I love books like this, and I love the way that Pathfinder does them. I'm very happy that they brought back the portable hull, because there are many cool things that players can do with it, and I enjoy watching them get creative with it. And there are a lot of options and opportunities for GMs to drop stuff like that in front of their players, where players may or may not realize that this item is not what they wanted, but it might be what they need. And putting off things like that in front of your players to make them think is, in my opinion, one of the greatest things you can do with treasure. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. This is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be for a flip through. There will be more to come in the very near future.
Hi guys, meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in the link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know, you're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye guys.